some people suffer or have something, but they don't realize that they have something. You did, right? It's like you knew when you look in the mirror, like, oh my God, there's something is wrong. Or were you like...
I think towards the beginning, I was a little bit oblivious. In my head,
Right.
I was huge and I was ugly and I didn't deserve my spot at this college. I looked in the mirror and was like, oh.
Wow.
And then I got to the point where I couldn't look in the mirror. Although at the time, I did also go to the doctors and say, look, I think there's something wrong. I'm not happy. I'm crying every day. And this was at 16.
Oh, I got goosebumps.
And he passed me antidepressants. And I was like, oh, okay. I think I took them for about 2 weeks and then I began to feel not very much, is the only way I could describe it. And I knew that that wasn't the route that I needed to go down, because it felt like it was putting a mask over something. But yeah, I don't think I realized how irrational I was being, that I wasn't huge and that I wasn't ugly. I really thought, okay, I'm ugly and I don't want to look at myself, and it's actually painful to look at myself. I don't think I knew how off that was.
Right.
Like I was a 16-year-old and I was probably a size 10, and I was just a young, beautiful child that was being really harsh on herself. But yeah, my mind was completely twisted by then.
What about your parents and friends and family? Like, what were they trying?
Well, I was away from home. So, you know, yes, it wasn't the other side of the earth, but I was away from home, so I could mask a lot of stuff.
We're so good at doing that.
Yeah, mask a lot of stuff. And they didn't realize how bad it got until I think the end of my second year, where I'd run myself into the ground. I wasn't eating. I developed glandular fever and I was depressed. And then I think my mum just saw me and went, okay, you're not going back. And I don't think I would have taken that decision to not go back. But my mum was like, no. This is not for you. What's happened? What has happened?
Wow.
And then I went home for a little bit. But by then, I'd already started on this. Thin means you're good enough. Good enough means that you get the job. Getting the job means you have to be super attractive. You have to be super attractive. You have to be perfect. And that went on till I was probably 29, 30.
Wow.
Yeah.
Would you say you got out of it now? Or is there still like some things left where you're like...
Yeah, I think there's always going to be some scar tissue when you've been through something like that. And I make a conscious effort to be super kind to myself and be forgiving and just be real with myself. And honestly, part of my healing journey has been developing brands or activities or conversations that I feel like I'm helping someone else. It's that healing process.
Right.
I've had therapy, I've had counseling, I've had absolutely everything that you could possibly imagine. But offloading some of my story onto someone that's struggling, and you see them, you see that realization in their eyes, as if to go, oh, okay, there's hope. That's the biggest healing journey ever. And I think that's why it's been catapulted from 29 to 37. With Blended, with projects, with being creative, with having a superstar team, with seeing my problems in other people. It's just, I'd be doing an injustice to hold it all in.
Right.
When I wish someone had said to me at 16, don't worry about all of this. Let me help you. Let me give you some advice. Instead, I felt stuck and trapped on my own.
Right.
And that prolonged my recovery.
Like you said, you still have some left. It's never going to leave. But how did you change that mindset? Because it's so important. Because I know a few of my friends actually, and I see them and I'm like, my God, like you're still so,
like
stuck.
Homed in on.
Yeah.
This is life or death. This is.
So how were you able to get out of it in your late 20s? Like what happened in that?
I think it was. So I sort of removed myself from that environment when I was 18, the college environment, the pre-audition environment, and I started to explore other things that I really enjoyed to do. So I did hair and makeup for a little while. I did event management. I did, catwalk choreography. I did a little bit of art design, set development. So anything creative, I sort of hopped around. And there was an element of, okay, so when I grow up, what am I going to be? I've been a hairdresser, I've been a makeup artist, I've been set design. Surely someday it will, help me figure out what job I want and as a creative director, then you look back and go, that's why I did all them weird jobs to make me into this crazy cat. So I wasn't forced to look in the mirror every single day, and my worth wasn't dependent on my weight or how I looked or how much makeup I had on or if my hair was a mess. So that gave me a little bit of breathing space to not just focus on this, to focus on this.